I don't think anything is a coincidence, and I strongly believe that all of the Americans that have been finding out that their passports have been marked lost or stolen, this is very intentional. Number one, when you're applying for your passport, you have to get an account through the Department of State, which is a government website that has multiple prompts and multiple securities for you to be able to identify who it is that you are. In order to mark your passport lost or stolen, you have to provide so much information about yourself, including security questions and answers. As someone who travels a lot and who has lived in multiple countries, I have never encountered a situation where somebody was like, my passport was marked lost or stolen, and I did not do that. So here's my theory. One, during this presidential election, which happens in most presidential elections, people were talking about leaving the United States. I was even paying for people to get their passports. Secondly, I think this is a strong arm from the government to make attempts to show in another way that they own the American people, that every facet of your life and existence is not your own, and that they do indeed own you. They've consistently been negating multiple amendments to the Constitution. The first, the fourth, the 10th. We ain't getting free speech. We ain't getting due process. They're attacking birthright citizenship, the 14th Amendment. And while President Cheeto claims that they had such great surveillance that they were able to see through walls to be able to kidnap Maduro, nobody can pinpoint who has marked these people's passports lost or stolen. Not even the Department of State, which is the government. They're controlling who's coming in and who's going out and who's going to do anything about it. We're in the era of writing a strongly worded letter. These folks don't take us seriously, and they're going to continue to do whatever it is that they want.
This is pretty big news in the travel world this week, so let me fill you in and give you my take. There have been 5 TikTok videos I've seen of people coming forward saying that they traveled outside of the United States and were stopped by Interpol, the international police, because their passports had been marked as stolen and therefore were invalid. They had to either return home or go to the embassy and get an emergency passport that day. But every single one of these people is saying, I have my passport, I've used it, I didn't mark it stolen. A guy who went to Thailand and had this happen to him said that he called the Department of State, called Homeland Security, the U.S. Passport Office. No one had any information, but from a TikTok comment, he was able to find out that his local passport office had been the one to mark it as stolen. And we don't know why yet. It's like happening this week. I'm seeing all these stories come out. I've seen a few reports say that it's clerical error. My take, my belief is that it is AI. I think that more companies and even the US federal agencies, which is insane, are using AI to do some of these things. And I think it's AI marking people's passports as invalid or stolen. And if you're wondering if you can check if your passport's valid before one of your upcoming trips, unfortunately, you cannot. The only way you'll find out is by traveling outside the country, which is when you perhaps least want to find that out. That's all the information I have. If it happens to you, all I can say is that you should know the process for getting an emergency passport from a nearby embassy. Look up the information before your trip and hope it doesn't happen to you. I hope it doesn't happen to more people.
Okay, so it's happening. 4 Americans who have gone abroad have said that they have gotten deported and that their passports were marked lost or stolen. This is incredibly alarming because American airlines are allowing Americans to leave not checking their passport's validity. They are then arriving internationally only to be informed while abroad that their passports were marked lost or stolen. This happened to 4 different Americans all recently within the last 2 weeks. One was in Rome, one in Colombia, one in Vietnam, and the other happened in Thailand. All of them, 3 of them had to pay for their deportation flight back. One of them had to pay $400 for an emergency passport. None of them have gotten answers on why this happened. Apparently nobody knows why it happened. And with everything going on with the American government, I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that's just happening right now. This was literally one of my worst fears, which was why I applied for dual citizenship and why I also got a second passport, because of this exact thing happening. I had a fear that the US would retaliate in some way because of the way they were forming the bills, which was why I kind of was like, looks fishy. And now Americans are actually having experiences with this.
If you're American and you have an international trip coming up, I know you're probably panicking right now if you've been seeing the viral videos of people saying that they went on vacation, they traveled, got to their destination, and then upon arrival, they found out that their passports were canceled, and it was not canceled by them. They were told that their passport was canceled because it was reported lost or stolen. See, the thing is, it's not easy to report it as lost and stolen. You have to go through a bunch of different steps. It's not a simple clerical error. And that can be terrifying real time because now you're in this country. You don't have anyone to support you and you don't have access. So people are reporting that they've been detained, they've been sent right back, or they had to rush to the embassy and then spend hundreds of dollars, 300 and upwards, to get an emergency passport on the spot. The reality of the situation right now, we do not know how often this happens because they don't keep track of how many times passports that have been reported stolen was correct or it was a false report. But we do know currently it is a growing problem. And people are wondering, is this a method of revenge or control? They don't want people to travel? As of right now, we know that there is one way that you can check. If you call the National Passport Information Center, I'm putting the information on the screen, they can assist you. Make sure when you're on the phone with them, you have your passport with you because they're going to ask you information, and you're simply calling to ask to see if your passport is currently valid or if it's been reported as stolen, just to make sure. They have the ability to check in real time. However, there is another rumor right now on TikTok that if you send in an FOIA request, that they can also assist you. Just to be clear, that request is for if your passport is canceled. That's when they do the investigation with that request. If you send that request in, that takes months at some point. It will be useless. You will probably miss your flight. Plus, if your passport isn't canceled, they don't have anything to investigate. Now, a little bit of the scary part is there is no way to lock your passport. So if you were to check and then all of a sudden it was labeled lost or stolen after checking, there is no way to stop that. The best way that we can mitigate that at the current moment is to call that National Passport Information Center.
Hey, emergency. I just called the phone number to try to check and see if my passport was marked valid with this whole thing of people's passports getting marked from lost or stolen and invalidating them. So I called the phone number. I'll put it here. I called the phone number just now to try to check on my passport, and it wouldn't even ring. It wouldn't even dial through. I tried calling from multiple phone lines, and the phone number wouldn't even ring through. Are you, call this number right now and tell me if this is happening to you too. Maybe it's my phone, maybe it's my Wi-Fi, I don't know how, but the call is not even going through. Alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells. You guys need to leave. Some passports are getting through, not everyone's getting marked lost and stolen, but if you're trying to leave the United States, you need to get out fucking now. I go live every single night for multiple hours, helping people figure out for free how to get out of the United States and come up with a one-on-one plan. Get on a live with me, because what the fuck, and also try to call this phone number. Is this just me? Oh my.
So as you have heard, and as I have personally seen all over social media platforms, there have been multiple reports claiming that people's passports are being frozen, flagged, or even reported as stolen by the US federal government. And what's strange is that many of the people speaking out say that they only found out their passports were stolen while they were on vacation. Now let that sink in for a moment. How can your passports, be stolen when you're it's literally in your possession, in another country, and you're actively using it? That is what is making a lot of people confused. That's what making that's what's making a lot of people uncomfortable, and that is what's making people start asking questions they never thought they would ask. Some people are being told they're not authorized to travel. Some are being told there are issues with their passport records. Some are being delayed, turned away, or suddenly restricted with no clear explanation, allegedly, okay? And because of that, a growing number of people are beginning to believe that maybe, just maybe, the government doesn't want certain people leaving the country. Now, listen to me very carefully, okay? I could be wrong. I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is confirmed information. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm only sharing what I'm seeing, what people are reporting, and what conversations are happening in public spaces online. This is not fear-mongering. This is not trying to create panic. This is me saying pay attention, because the first sister said in one of the videos I watched, how can this be a coincidence? How can so many people be reporting the same experience at the same time? And remember, reporting a missing passport or stolen passport isn't simple. You don't just call and say, hey, it's gone. You have to provide a lot of information: your full identity, your social security number, your records, your history. So when people claim their passport has been marked as stolen without them being reporting it, that raises serious questions. And again, I repeat myself clearly, I have no concrete proof, okay? I have no official documents. I have no inside sources. I'm not presenting this as truth. I'm presenting this as conversation, okay? This video is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in this video is factual. I am simply sharing what people are sharing online. But even with that disclaimer, we still live in a time where patterns matter, silence matters, timing matters, and when multiple voices start saying the same thing, it deserves at least a moment of reflection. With everything happening in the world right now, politically, economically, socially, people are already feeling trapped. Prices are rising, opportunities are shrinking, stress is increasing, and now the idea that movement itself may be restricted, even unofficially, makes people feel even more powerless. So with all of this, only two possibilities seem to exist. Either these are false reports, okay, misunderstandings, maybe technical errors, or the government truly does not want people to leave, okay? And I'm not telling you this, I'm not telling you which one of these to believe. I am telling you to think. I'm telling you to observe, and I'm telling you to question without panicking. I am telling you to stay informed without being consumed by fear, because the truth is, information today spreads faster than confirmation, and fear spreads faster than facts. And sometimes the most dangerous thing is not what we don't know, it's what we assume. So take what I shared today however you want, okay? You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to support the idea. You don't even have to watch it twice. But I do want you to think about it, okay? Because our history has shown us that many major changes never announce themselves loudly. They start quietly. They start with small stories. Pardon me about that noise. I stay by the roadside, okay? They start with people being dismissed. They start with coincidences that don't feel like coincidence anymore. And again, this is not fear. This is awareness. This is not accusation. This is observation. This is not fact. This is conversation. So please let me know what you think about this video in the comment section down below. Do you think these people are exaggerating, or do you think there's something deeper happening behind the scenes? Your perspective matters, your voice matters, and your thoughts matters. So don't hold back, don't be shy. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if this was your first time to be on this channel, go ahead, subscribe and turn on that notification so that every time I upload such videos, you'll be notified. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for thinking with me instead of just reacting. I'll definitely see you in my next video. Stay peaceful.